Welcome to iRobot. Bubbles, laws, a lot of reading, naked Will Smith in the first minute, and product placement not once but twice just to get us out the front door, in which he just then shoves FedEx bot boy out the way because he hates robots. At least grab the fucking package, dude. We are in Chicago 2035 where they have technology. Robots are everywhere doing peasant shit, and they announce they have a new model coming out called the NS5. Shia LaBeouf throws a ball to Detective Spoon, which he completely ignores, so LaBeouf just forgets the ball and immediately starts talking about pussy and how he needs to borrow his car so he can get more pussy.
I need to borrow the car for like 10-15 minutes. I got this fine-ass little yummy. I mean, she is complete and agreeable. I mean, ass-high spankable, Spoon.
What does that even mean?
Stop barricading. Let me get the
Spooner takes a pit stop at his Gram's house for some pie, which he leaves with the pie to then see a robot running away with a purse. So he goes, "Hold my pie, sir.
Hold it aware."
This is a rough start. Just set the pie on the fucking ground or something. It's not like you're gonna come back and get this fucking pie. Doesn't matter. He goes chasing the robot, doing some parkour down the stairs and catches up, tackling the robot. The purse lands in front of this lady and she reaches in and grabs an inhaler. He'd be like, "Is your purse?" "Of course it is, dummy. I sent him to go get it for me because I forgot my inhaler at home." She says, "You're lucky I'm fat and can't breathe because I'd walk like a dog." So Will fucks off to work and his boss gives him shit because he hates robots and he always tries to arrest them. But I guess no robot has ever committed a crime in history in this movie. Will gets a call about a dude who just died and gets pissed because he has to go to work. So he goes to do detective shit and comes across Steve Jobs' carbon copy. He is a famous robot maker scientist dude who just happened to leave a hologram of himself to help solve his own fucking murder. That is the most convenient bullshit thing I've ever heard in a technology-ridden fucking world. Like, hey dude, fucking Blue's Clues my own death. Will keeps asking questions to the hologram, but it keeps saying, "I'm sorry, wrong answer, try again, bitch." Since it looked like he offed himself, he asks why he did it. That, detective, is the right question. Well, if it's the right question, why the fuck can't you answer it instead of just giving you some cryptic bullshit? Will heads up the tower to meet
Lawrence,
the boss of the USR, and he obviously doesn't like him because of all the robots and whatnot. Spoon's like, "Fuck you and your robot slaves." Spoon hits the elevator with the strict hoe and goes to Dr. Lanning's lab and living quarters so he can see if he can find some clues to what had happened. She introduces Spoon to Vicky, the AI supercomputer which controls everything. And honestly, that sounds like the worst fucking idea. The company that controls all of the robots is being ran by an AI supercomputer robot. That sounds fucking stupid. Regardless, Spoon immediately calls bullshit on it being a suicide because there's no way an old man is breaking through reinforced glass by himself and the footage was completely scrubbed.
There appears to be data corruption. I have decreased traffic fatalities by 9% this year alone.
ooh, thanks.
Sounds like something else happening. He also thinks that the robot could potentially still be in the room with them. Spooner starts looking around the room.
Boy, you are crazy as hell. There are no way a robot could do this because of the 3 laws.
That's right, I completely forgot to mention the 3 laws. I completely skipped over that. All right, so listen up. The 3 laws. Law number 1, robots cannot hurt a human under any circumcision. Law number 2, the robots must always listen to the human unless it is going to hurt a human. And number 1. Law number 3, robots will always try to protect themselves unless it interferes with law number 1 or 2. Simple enough. So robot, no hurt people, robot, work for people. Simple. Sounds terrible. Back to the movie. So while having some back and forth about the laws and robots, an NS5 jumps out of the box, quickly being disarmed immediately and forces Will's unearthly cop training to go into full effect.
Stay back!
And the robot gets a hold of his gun, but good thing he has a backup. Mr. Robot flees for his life, hitting the majestic hurdle through the suicide hole, but Spoon shot him in the leg, hitting a hose or wire or whatever the fuck a robot would have. The robot also hits this insane superhero landing and then proceeds to get away. He figures it's heading for one of the factories so it can repair itself. So him and the hoe make their way over there riding his 200-mile-per-hour piss missile, which he takes control of while on the road, and she goes,
Are you crazy? Let the car drive itself.
Nodro, watch this.
I completely agree though at this point. If a car is moving 200 miles per hour, the average human reaction time is straight fucking dog shit. You got robots running around this world. You cannot convince me that AI technology for driving a car would not be better than the human reaction time. Let alone people's fucking hand-eye coordination is that of an 85-year-old nun. She thinks the robot was somehow defective or trying to protect them in some way. So they get to the factory where there are no humans, only robots. Robots literally everywhere. Robots, robots, robots. Robots building other robots in the building, built by robots, managed by robots. That's just stupid. She does a little system scan and it says there should be 1,000 robots, but it's counting 1,001. So there's an imposter among them. They go to try to find the robot that stands out. So Spoon's wonderful idea is to start tapping them in the face using some sort of scare tactic, which ends up working some miraculous way because bro literally leans around the corner and looks Will right in the eye for no fucking reason. Like he was so far in the back of that line. If the robot, Will would have had to drop at least 500 fucking robots to even have gotten to him. The gun would have ran out of bullets by the time he even got to this robot. So he did not need to move. So Will goes after him, but quickly loses him again just to be sneak attacked and shucked by the robot. And then he looks at Will and asks, "What am I?" Mr. Roboto tries to escape again, but quickly runs into backup, which Spoon called in earlier.
It's all over, lawbreaker. Your spree is at an end.
He tries to spider monkey his way out of the stormtrooper aim, but then is eventually taken down and they take him back to the precinct. Will ends up getting 5 minutes of interrogation time with the robot, and the bot's like, "What's that thing you did with your eye?" "Oh, that's because me and my boss are lovers, others." And also something about trust. Then the interrogation starts where Spoon shows the robot some pics of the dead scientist, which was kind of like his dad. Spoon keeps pressing the robot about why he killed him, and he snaps and he says, "I did not murder him," showing emotions, real life anger, which shouldn't be possible for a robot. His name is Sonny and tells Spoon his dad killed himself and asked him to do a favor. Before Or he can ask the favor. The suits show up and cut the interrogation short because they want to keep things all hushy-hushy because the killer robot doesn't sound like it's going to do any favors for a company's stock prices. They are able to take Sonny away because he is USR property. So
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
So Will goes to the bar for a drink and to be all pissy when Chocolate Rain joins him and gives him the motivation to go find the truth. So Spoon pays for the booze and leaves. I just want to point out $46 for 3 beers is insanity. Sounds like the world we live in now. All right, so we go to Dr. Landing's house, which is set to be demolished at 8 a.m. tomorrow by some destruction bots. He goes inside and watches Landing's videos about ghosts in the program, which is like a mind of its own, which sounds like a lot of baloney hooey. He says hi to a cat, and then we see that time changes the demo from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is important because now it's trying to kill him. Yippee. While the house is being destroyed, Will runs and makes his way out and saves the cat, shooting the hinges off this door to make his grand escape. I just want to point out the fact he was able to hit these hinges while running at full speed, but was only able to graze the robot's leg while it was directly in front of him. He then goes to Calvin's to tell her about what just happened, but she is still a non-believer and thinks that the robots are just being faulty. He looks over to see her new NS5 sitting on the couch, so he takes her aside and tells her he believes Lanning was being kept prisoner and now he's trying to send messages with all this crazy shit going on right now. She gets all mad at him like,
Are you crazy? Robots are all good.
Bitch, no, they are not, stupid mongoloid.
Get the fuck out of my house, Prince of Bel-Air.
I was leaving anyway, ho.
The next morning, Will has a nightmare and wakes up to see the NS5s are replacing the old NS4s. Even his Nana got one.
Oh, hell no.
He continues digging through Lanning's videos while Calvin gives Sonny an exam where he keeps saying shit like, I was dreaming. Are you going to kill me? I think it would be better to not die. She in her own head thinking,
This shit is getting very weird. Maybe I am a naive dummy.
Now back to Spoon driving and still investigating when he drives up 2 street sweepers carrying NS5s, box him in the tunnel where there are no other vehicles on the road. Classic movie trope, but whatever. The hatches open and the bots start jumping onto his car trying to kill him while saying, you are experiencing an accident. We are here to help. He knows that's bullshit and starts fighting them off as he drives his car up on the side of a wall to get around the carrier and then rips this Mario Kart move to get them off, which works, but everyone ends up crashing in spectacular fashion. One of the robots survive and pushes a car at Spoon. The robot uses circus acrobats. The robot uses circus acrobats as its fighting moves and start wailing on Spoon's arm, which we come to find out is a cyborg arm. As he starts fighting back, the cops show up, so the robot sprints away. Chocolate Rain shows up and claims Spoon must be losing his mind. Give me your badge, fool. Fuck it, take it. You don't even pay me. Do I look like I care? Jump to Calvin making a discovery that Sonny is actually super unique because he has 2 brains or some shit like that, and Vicky has no control over him. She goes over to Spoon's house while he is spray painting his skin back onto his arm like it's a normal Monday. She tells him that Sonny has the 3 laws, but he can choose to obey them or not. So hearing this, Spoon wants to get ready to go interview him, but she finds out that our boy is
Grown the fuck up.
Choom. She gets all touchy with him and finds out he got nuked by a truck. Story goes a little something like this. Truck driver fell asleep at the wheel and smoked another car, killing that driver, and since he is dead, he loses control of the car and hits Will's car, sending him and a 12-year-old skinny dipping into the water, which is not a good spot to be in. Then Mr. Roboto shows up and saves Will from the crash, even though he tried multiple times to get the robot to save the 12-year-old instead of him. The robot had calculated him to have a higher chance of survival, so it didn't listen, and now Will hates robots. Boohoo. I can only expect in a world with robots as advanced as these are, there would be self-driving trucks or a robot driver or some shit. This is hard to believe, and trust me, there is a lot in this film that just makes no sense. Regardless, Spoon and Calvin then head down to the garage and take out a sporty bike. I just have to point out how stupid it is that Spoon is a cop and his garage code is 911. What would be the point in not doing literally any other set of numbers? 000 and 911 are always my first choices. Fucking stupid. They get to the lab and Spoon asks Sonny about his dreams because he thinks there might be clues inside of them. So Sonny starts drawing him this dream, but then security comes and takes them both up to Lawrence because Spoon isn't supposed to be in the building. Will does some manly testosterone shit, but Dingleberry, who knows Sonny, is able to ignore the 3 laws, is spouting about how one crazy cop and one bad robot can't let them ruin the sales because they have so much recalls and whatnot they would have to do. Meanwhile, Spoon lets out this golden moment.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Lawrence of Arabia is saying they will need to get rid of Sonny. Calvin says that she will destroy him. Whoa. They haven't even tried to factory reset the boy. But Spoon is escorted out of the building and Sonny is prepped for a brain dance.
Diving in.
Which in this case is just injecting his brain with crazy brain cancer malware frying his fucking noodle. While that's going down, Will heads over to the bridge that Sonny had shown him in the drawing, and he finds all of the old robots there. He busts out the hologram again and asks it some questions and ends up getting the same responses before. That detective is the right question. Bro. Sonny gets brain cancer and Will realizes something weird is going on in the containers. Turns out there's a genocide between the bots. The NS5 see him and start to chase him, but the NS4s protect him and allow him to get away. While he is riding away, he calls his side piece, but she is in the shower. So it plays out out loud on this male voice box fucking loud thingy. Calvin,
We are so fucked.
but the bot pulls out the speaker and she sees this fishiness and she knows she is fucked. All the meanwhile, everything goes tits up in the city because the Groomobiles are releasing armies of the NS5 and they are telling the humans to go home. The humans aren't going to take that shit from the robots, so they all start fighting. All the city lights go out other than the USR lights. The NS5 start attacking the cops, military, Navy, SEAL, fucking Fire Force, literally everybody that they could find. Calvin is trying to leave, but her bot won't let her. Even when she tells it to shut down, it is ignoring her, meaning that it is ignoring the 3 laws, just like Sunny. Then Spoon comes blasting through the fucking door, going all gunzerker mode on the bots. They leave and start heading over to the USR building, but on the way, Sandwich Wiki needs help.
Let's get you a tighter shirt. I'm gonna park my foot in your ass. What should I shoot you with? Yeah, oh,
So Spoon uses his perfect opportunity to showcase his amazing aiming that he clearly did not have earlier in this film. They made it to the building and used the unsurveilled service route to gain access. Once they make it there, in the lab, they are greeted by Sunny because she couldn't kill him and she swapped him out for a dud and fried an empty shell instead. They head up thousands of stairs
2,880 steps detected.
in an attempt to make it to Lawrence's office. At this point, I just want to point out, how the fuck did they not even break a sweat? Like, damn. This whole time, they thought he was behind this, but he was actually behind the desk being choked, and now he is dead.
Whoop-de-doo.
So Spoon cracks out his third eye and determines that Vicky is behind all of this. Wow, the supercomputer AI that is hooked into everything is evil. I never could have expected that. Spoon calls out Vicky and she shows up saying humans are retarded and waging war, killing this earth, you know, human shit. She says humans need to die and that she has altered the 3 laws so the bots can act on her will. Sunny is actually created by Landing to stop all this shit, but he even is like, your logic is undeniable. Switches sides and holds a gun to Calvin's head, but then gives Spoon the quick wink. Spoon has a proud dad moment and then starts blasting, pulling the old razzle dazzle on the Vixter and destroying all the bad bots. They all go off to go find Vicky's core so they can blast her with some brain cancer. So the gang splits up. Sunny goes to get the nanites and the other 2 proceed with Operation Cancer. Once they get to Vicky, in typical movie fashion, it is overly complicated. They can't just inject her. They either have to get all the way to the bottom or get this hatch up top to pop. Calvin tries to get the hatch to open up, but Vicky blocks her, so Spoon just hits it. How did he not break the screen or anything in this moment? He didn't break the screen, the buttons, nothing. Regardless, Sunny makes it back to the lab and throws a bad NS5 through this force field protecting the brain cancer.
Your actions are futile.
He makes his way over and sticks his hand right through the barrier because Dr. Landing had prepared Sunny for this moment and gave him level 100 armor. This breaches security and Vicky sends all the remaining NS5s surrounding the building to kill the gang. They start flooding in from the top and everyone starts blasting. Meanwhile, Sunny is trying to make his way back and dealing with his own issues, doing fucking circus moves, busting heads, and even scorpion moves. You know, some epic shit. He arrives there as soon as the evil NS5s are about to drop Calvin to her death. Okay, so a lot happens very quickly, so keep up. I'm going to speedrun this. As Sunny arrives, Spoon gives him a direct order to save Calvin instead of going after Vicky and giving her the brain cancer. Sunny actually listens to Spoon's command. He throws the nanites in the air and then leap of faith down to Calvin with an extremely convenient wire to grab and stop him. Switch to Spoon where he jumps out and grabs the shot of robot cancer and then skydives himself into a position where he can reach out and grab the core with his chromed up arm, destroying it in the process. He ends up giving her brain cancer and gives her turbo robo cancer aids. She repeats
My logic is undeniable.
3 times. Shut the fuck up, stupid piece of shit. She blows up and the lights turn back on and all the NS5s are reset. Turns out Sunny did kill Landing, but he was told to not tell anybody. Spoon is all cool with Sunny and doesn't arrest him and everyone decides to go their separate ways and Sunny becomes Robot Jesus. This movie gets 14 gumballs out of an 8-ton football. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.